SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any party. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good Thursday morning to you, and welcome once again to North Pike Thursday here on SuperTalk Mississippi, Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by the folks at Southwest Health System, Southwest Supply, and Silman's Jewelers. And this morning, well, it's been freezing cold outside, so obviously it's time to talk softball. It works that way every year. This year is no exception. And we have Coach Sonya Wallace in here with us to talk about it. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Are we ready?
We're ready to go play. It's time. It's that time. So.
Well, that's the thing. You can only practice for so long before you've just had enough.
That's right. We're ready to see some different girls and just go at it.
Now, what's the season looking like to you from this perspective? You got a blank slate. What are you looking at? Let's talk about the team a little bit. What do we have put together?
We're going to put a lot of youth on the field. As of right now, I have only 2 seniors and 2 juniors on the team. One of the seniors is recovering from a broken wrist. Will still be out a few more weeks. One junior is still playing basketball, and the other junior is still in soccer. So we're going to be putting a lot of youth on the field from 7 through 10 come this weekend. So
until basketball season is over, if I kept up with the math correctly in my head, you've got 1 senior and everybody else is a sophomore and below.
Correct.
Holy cow. That weird perspective on this, that's a little bit of pressure on that 1 senior that's able to play, isn't it?
Yeah, we're expecting her to step up and be a leader on the field, and hopefully she'll be ready to go by Saturday. She left practice yesterday going home sick, so we'll see what happens.
Sometimes it just starts that way, doesn't it?
Sometimes it does, but I can tell you what, I'll take this group of young girls that we've got. They're excited. They're hard workers. They're motivated. They're excited. Practice has been really fun. Great attitudes. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, you talked about just a minute ago about, ready to actually play some other teams. With a young team, that's a lot more important than with an older, experienced team, because there is such a difference between practice and playing, and they don't know that until they get out there and it's game time, do they?
That's right. We're pretty fortunate, though. Several of these younger ones got playing time and played some varsity last season, so hopefully, they're going to be fine, and these young ones get a few games under their belt. The other ones, I think they'll be fine as well.
Does it change anything about the way you coach them when you've basically got 1 functional senior? Because a lot of times I know you lean on the seniors to provide that on-field leadership and provide the motivation and whatnot, but you got one other person out there Do you have to work a little harder with the rest of the team?
Well, I will say this. I've really been impressed with some of my younger ones as well, because they've really stepped their game up and sort of taken a leadership role as well. You know, we've got Savannah, who had pitching experience for the varsity last year, coming back, and she's just really been working so hard this season, and so proud of her, and just really stepping it up, being a leader on the field for us even. So really excited to see what kind of season she has.
Well, it's always interesting to me because you have a team, you work with them through the practices, you've got a pretty good idea where everybody falls on the readiness level and the skill level, but there's always at least one that surprises you, isn't there?
Yeah, I think we got a good possibility of seeing that again this season with some. I mean, we're probably going to have a 7th grader and some 8th graders on there going Saturday, and not just Saturday, you know, for the jamboree, but you know, when season starts on Tuesday.
I was about to say, let's get into it. Let's talk about the jamboree coming up on Saturday. Looks like you're going to have beautiful weather for it.
It does.
It's about time.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if it would get a little bit warmer than it's saying, but hey, we'll take it.
64.
Yeah.
Low Friday night, 43. So when you get there, it's still going to be chilly. But getting up to 64 on Saturday. So we'll take that.
That's right. We will.
Could have been worse.
Better than this morning.
Well, yeah, no joke. Could have had the jamboree a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Nobody would have wanted that, I don't think. So the jamboree, tell us about the jamboree.
We'll be playing Newton County and Northwest Rankin. We'll play Newton County at 2 and then Northwest Rankin right after. And after that, we're going to play a JV game against Northwest Rankin. So be back to back to back.
What do you know about those teams? It's kind of hard to know before the season even starts.
Right. Obviously, Northwest Rankin will be a tough team. They've won state the past 3 seasons, but I know that they lost some, and I don't think they're going to be as strong as they've been in the past, but obviously they will still be a very good team. Newton County always has a good program, so we know they'll be a good competition for us as well.
All I know about Newton County has nothing to do with softball. They have a street festival every year called the Loose Caboose Festival.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you're stuck with that knowledge, too. I've been having to suffer with knowing that for a while now. So the jamboree action for the North Pike Lady Jaguars kicks off at 2 Saturday, right?
Correct, at Northwest Rankin.
You're going to play all afternoon, basically. And then, Sunday is off. You've got Monday to get ready for the start of the season.
Right. We'll travel to Bogachita on Tuesday, so sort of a close game. If they get, anyone gets the opportunity to come out and see us play on Tuesday.
Well, I would think you would rather have a close game than, a 4-hour road trip like happens sometimes.
Right, yeah. Be good for us to get to go there and play, close by, and hopefully we'll have a good crowd there.
And I would assume this is usually the way it works out. You're going to have some of the girls on your team that know some of the girls on Bogachita and their friends. And kind of puts a different angle on it, I think.
It does. And, it even happens with our bigger schools now because of all the travel ball. A lot of them play with some of the girls from the other teams. So it's a good experience for all of them.
Let's talk about something which we don't seem to have quite the same level of problem with in softball as we do some other sports. For example, in football, before you kick off for the first game, well, you better win a state championship. You got to go all the way. We have a much more level-headed group at times, I think, of supporters for softball because you don't know until you get the season going how things are going to turn out. You got to make the adjustments on the fly. You got anything you'd like to say to the fans as we get ready for this season?
I would say, obviously we're going to start out tough schedule to begin with, just like we did last year, and we had a rough start last year. But just remember, we were 1 game away from being in a state championship last year. So, give us a chance. We may take some bumps here at the beginning, but this group, I think we'll get a few different outcomes at the beginning of the season this year than what we did last year.
How it starts is not how it ends.
You're right. That's the most important.
But that's a time-honored strategy. You punch above your weight class for the first few games. When it doesn't they matter, but they don't matter the same as, the third to last game in the season. That's a different category, right?
That's right. We're hoping that, these games at the beginning will help prepare us for those at the end. So
sometimes you got to stub your toe.
You're right. Get your attention, get back focused. So.
I've asked this question of several coaches. What do you think is better for the team in terms of motivation and focus, a win or a loss?
The old saying is, I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss. But, still sometimes you got to lose sometimes to get humble, to get back focused. And I think a lot of it, too, comes down to who you're playing and just, how gets you back focused sometimes when you take that loss.
And it's very situational, too, I would think. In terms of where you're at in the season,
right?
What the kids need to learn, or what needs adjusting in the team attitude, if you will, because team attitude is a thing. It's contagious, isn't it?
Very much so, especially with softball. Hitting, that's very contagious. We start out, all it takes sometimes is one person step in there and get a hit, and it can take off. So, just really, good attitudes, and like I said earlier, couldn't ask for any better attitudes than what we've been seeing at practice. Just out there talking, communicating, having fun.
And that's what you want to see at the end of the day.
You're right.
Because that's kind of a dirty secret that people don't like to talk about sometimes. Because, again, in some sports, it's very much, we're going to war. If they're having fun, they're playing better, aren't they?
You're right. You're exactly right.
We don't like to talk about that very much, it seems.
No, because you got, some people like to just be strict and right there, it's all business. But, I've learned over the years, if they're relaxed, talking, playing, I'm not going to say playing around as in not paying attention or whatever, but just having fun, then you can get a good performance out of them most of the time.
Yeah, it's always easier when you're calm and relaxed and just kind of loose as a goose.
You're right.
I've heard you say that phrase out loud before, so yeah, I know we're on the same page on this. Well, it's time for the season to start. You got less than 48 hours, or a little over 48 hours before first pitch at the Jamboree. 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, right?
Right.
And that one, where is that? Rankin, I think you
Northwest
said?
Rankin.
Northwest Rankin. I keep forgetting there are 12 Rankins. Northwest Rankin. Make the trip up there and support the girls. Going to be beautiful weather. Going to be a gorgeous day. There's no excuse to miss it. And then definitely be there Tuesday at Bogachita for the actual start of the season. Saturday gives you a taste. Tuesday is for keepsies. That
right.
matters. So be there for that. Anything else you want to pass along before we go?
Just anytime you get the chance, come out and support the girls. They work hard every day, and, it's all about them at this point.
I do have one more question before we go. Because you've been doing this a good 5-6 minutes now. You are extremely experienced and accomplished and really good. What's the hardest thing to deal with to be, and when I say successful, I don't mean bring home championship trophies, even though you have so many. But what's the hardest thing for a coach, for a softball coach, to be a successful coach to you?
I would say, and this brings me back to that last game we played, is seeing a team work so hard all season and get to that last game, get behind a run or two, and give up. When you've spent all season working to get to that point, and it's like, okay, I'm okay if it's over. You don't want to see that happen with your team, and as a coach, that's very frustrating because we can do everything we can to prepare them physically for the game, but mentally, that's on them. We can't control them mentally, so hopefully, we don't have to go through that situation often, but, I felt like we had that opportunity still there, that last game, and to see it not come through that's tough.
We talk about it all the time that as a coach, you're not just teaching them to play a sport, you're teaching them life lessons. That's a life lesson.
You're right.
Not just for sports in general. It's over when you give up.
You're right.
basically. It's over when you accept it and say, well, if it's over, it's over. That's fine. Think about that in relation to your daily life. You've got something you've said that about.
You're right.
And if we find out what it was, Coach Wallace is going to come see you. You don't want that to happen because she's going to put on her mean face, and you don't want her mean face. Just make sure you follow through to the end, all the way through. That is a great life lesson, and that's why I asked you that question, because I knew you'd have some kind of great life lesson there.
Yeah.
It's who you are as a person.
Thank you.
Coach Sonya Wallace, the North Pike Lady Jaguars ready to get going for the 2026 season. It's going to be beautiful weather Saturday, but you might want to bring a jacket anyway just to be on the safe side. Next Tuesday might be a different story. Next Tuesday, we're looking at a high of 73 and a low of 57. Boca Chica is going to be comfortable next Tuesday to start the season. Make sure that you're there. Coach, always enjoy having you in here.
Thank you. Appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come by.
You come back anytime you want to, okay?
Thank you.
North Pike Thursday brought to you by the folks at Selman's, Southwest Supply, and Southwest Health Systems. We continue on your Thursday morning after this.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown Macomb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Southwest Supply Company is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. We're proud to be able to deliver all of your office supplies, office furniture, and business machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit us at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. Southwest Supply Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Brookhaven, and surrounding areas.
Every now and then we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the race. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crank. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on.
Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Keep on shining your light, gonna make everything gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry.
Welcome back. SuperTalk. Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Dave Hughes here. Sorry, you got a little more music than usual, but I always enjoy catching up with Coach Sonya Wallace when she's here. We go back a minute. Known her for a while. Wonderful human being and a fantastic coach. Yes, I'm biased. I don't care if you know. So there. All right, that's enough of the Doobie Brothers. Never thought I'd say that in my life. Mentioned the weather forecast. Let's quickly look at that because, well, for once it's pleasant. Sunny today, high of 50. Low tonight, 36. We are done with temperatures below freezing now. For the next 7 days, no. Tonight is as low as it's going to get, a low around 36. Tomorrow night, 43. Saturday night, 38. Sunday night, 48. Monday night, 53. Tuesday night, the low will be 57, which will be higher than today's high. So we're definitely starting a little bit of a warming trend. Wednesday, by the way, they are forecasting a high temperature of 76. What I'm saying all this for is, as much as anything, to burn it in my brain to remind me to go take the wrappings off of the faucets out in the yard. They have these socks. Have you seen this? This is what we went with this year, and it has worked beautifully. I call them socks. It's like an insulated bag with a tie string around the bottom of it, and you just take, swoop it over it, and then tie it off tight at the bottom, and it keeps it protected. And they have worked. Didn't cost very much. Can't remember what it was. It was like 10, 20 bucks, something like that. And worked fantastically. That's always a challenge. It's always a problem. But maybe, I'm not going to go so far as to say we are completely done with below freezing weather for the year. I'm not that silly. But for now, we're done with it. It could come right back around in another week or two. But for now, that's past us. That's behind us, which is a good thing. As you heard Richard talking about this morning, he's still dealing with it up there. Richard's still, I don't know if you've seen, Oxford is still fighting through some things. I think it's a nice way to put it. By the way, fun fact, you go to poweroutage.us. There are a total in all of America, because thunderstorms knock things out, a car accident can knock a pole over, so there's always outages everywhere, it seems like. There are 67,000 customers without power in the United States of America. 23,000 of them are in Mississippi. We are the only state that's lit up on the map as we continue to fight through this. Lafayette County still has 5,000 people a week and a half later with no power. That's the biggest one. Tippah is right behind, 3,982, but they have fewer people that live in Tippah County than Lafayette County. Panola County, still a lot of outages. Tishomingo, Yalobusha, Tallahatchie, and then it gets down into the three digits from there, except for Issaquena County, where they only have one account they're monitoring, and that one's power is still off. So it's in red, but that's just tracking one person. So we are still fighting with this, and as of yesterday afternoon, I want to make sure we keep this in perspective because we keep talking about it. The reason we keep talking about it is it's still a current event. Yesterday afternoon, the Highway Department, MDOT, announced that they still had reports of ice on roads and bridges in 2 counties up in North Mississippi. There was still ice causing road problems yesterday afternoon. So while for the rest of the state, we kind of look at this as, well, that's over. There's not much to talk about. Up in North Mississippi, this is very much still an ongoing catastrophe, I think would be the correct word at this point. with the amount of damage, the amount of trees that are down and tree limbs and power poles and everything else. It's still a mess in a lot of areas. They are continuing to fight through this. So keep them in mind. And as you hear us continuing to talk about it, I just want you to realize that this is not an ancient history situation. This is something that is still ongoing right now, right this second that they're having to deal with. Which, you know, from the outside looking in, maybe it's just me. Seems like a bit much. Benton and Marshall counties, by the way, they have put it out, a new update, MDOT. As of 8:30 a.m. this morning, so an hour ago, there are still reports of ice on state-maintained roads and bridges in Benton and Marshall counties. That's just north of Oxford, of Lafayette. Continue to use extra caution in areas affected by winter weather, you know, the standard warnings from there. As of an hour ago, we still have 2 counties in Mississippi that have problems with ice on roads and bridges. So, yeah, it's not over. It's not done. Oh, it's much, much better. Sure. And that's partially, I think, why it's taking so long, because until everything completely melts off, you don't have the opportunity to get things fixed. But in most of the places, that process is well underway, the melting. And you just feel like we should have made more progress by now, don't you? You just feel like, oh, that's a good idea, Mose. Talking about my fancy socks that I bought. Mose, with the true MacGyver instincts and skill set, said, I've used old tube socks for my faucets for decades. Layer it up and then put some duct tape around it. Yeah, that's basically what this is. I'm just lazy and blew the money. We got 3 faucets outside that can cause problems, so we bought 3 of those. And we sock them up. And it works great. You know, if you don't have tube socks and duct tape at home, store-bought is fine, I guess. That's an excellent tip from Mose. I just wanted to share that. But it seems like, you just feel like this should have gone a little more quickly. Right? It's been a week and a half. And we're still struggling. We're still fighting through this. And I think that partially is due to, well, the mindset that the modern world has implanted in most people. The I want it now, instant gratification outlook on life. So, you know, the freezing rain stopped. Oh, well, this should be fixed by nightfall, right? No, never works that way. But it's been 10, 11 days up in the north part of the state, and they're still fighting through it. Again, to be fair, 2 counties, as of an hour ago, still have ice on the roads and bridges up there. Tennessee's got it worse. But I think there's going to be some discussion. There's already been some discussion. I think there's going to be more discussion as we move past this and get back to more of a normal state in the north part of Mississippi. There's going to be some discussion about what we did, what we didn't do, what we can do in the future. Because as we learned when Katrina came through, as we learned when fill-in-the-blank tornado came through, how many of those have there been at this point in southwest Mississippi? How you deal with it as it's happening is important. But that's mostly built on the lessons you learned the last time it happened and what you did to make sure it goes smoother the next time, right? Well, we had a gap here. Let's go ahead and pre-fill that so we don't have to worry about that one. And then you move forward and you have a smoother, easier time the next time. That's going to be the important part of this as we move forward. Give it, I'm going to say rule of thumb, just off the top of my head, give it a month. Might take a bit longer than that. It depends on just how long it takes to sort through all this, but give it a month. Next month. End of March, we'll say. That's a month and a half. End of March, we need to be looking at what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and what we can do to either A, prevent it from happening next time, or B, make it a lot quicker and easier to deal with it if it does happen again. Because I know this is once every 10, 20, 30 years we have a weather event like this in Mississippi. It's not very common. Having said that, the world only flooded once, and they still built a boat. So the frequency doesn't matter quite as much as the severity, if you ask me. Just throwing it out there. Luckily, we didn't have any problem here. We came close. If you saw the freeze line, if you saw the ice line after the storm came through last week, we were right on the edge here in southwest Mississippi. Pike County nibbled at the edge of it and didn't have to deal with it. So we got very lucky. Will we be as lucky next time? Oh, you're new here. Welcome to the area. We continue on this Thursday morning after this on SuperTalk Mississippi, Pike County. My friend, keep it right here.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown Macomb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Trying to make a man go blind. Never can tell what the
got to get worse bumper music. Sometimes it starts and I forget I'm supposed to be talking. I'm just sitting here rocking out. Not very helpful. All right, welcome back. Couple of things we need to put out here to make sure everybody is aware. If you haven't heard about this, Magnolia Electric yesterday announced that they're turning off Liberty's power today. Now, that sounds horrible. That sounds like a problem. No, it's actually fixing a problem. The planned outage, according to the official Magnolia Electric Power Facebook post on this, the problem is a mechanical failure, as they explain it, that they found at the Liberty substation. They got to take the power off to work on it. Nobody wants to, lick their finger and then touch a live wire. So they're just going to turn the power off. They say it'll be about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood this afternoon. They're going to start at 1:30. So about 4 hours from now, the power is going out in Liberty. That's the bad news. Good news is it's going to be about an hour, hour and a half, and then the problem will be solved. But for the most part, if you're on Magnolia Electric Power in Liberty, everything's going to turn off this afternoon at 1:30 and come back on, we'll say by 3:30, 4 o'clock. At the latest, I would think. It's going to be less than that. They always overestimate these times so that you get a happy surprise, and also to pad in some time in case they run into a difficulty. So I don't expect it to take the full hour and a half. Don't expect it to take 2 hours, but let's be safe. Going down at 1:30, going to be 3:30 before it gets back on, but it will get back on. That's the good news there. So I want to make sure everybody is aware. If you've got somebody that lives in Liberty, you might want to get a hold of them and go, hey, it's about to get dark. Don't freak out. It's planned, it's controlled, and it'll be right back up. Better than it was because they're fixing the problem at the Liberty substation. Other news that happened yesterday, things continue to change. We've got a lot of candidates that have announced for the Macomb City Board. Qualifying ended on Friday. We've got the full list. The list is set. We know who's running. Well, there is still one category of people that can change things, and that's the ones that, have now decided they're not running. Dorothy Robinson Coney in the Ward 4 Selectman race in Macomb. Eddie Thompson, Sean Williams. Eddie Thompson, of course, the incumbent. Sean Williams, they're the only two left now. She announced this in a Facebook post, said she was dropping out of the race, and I'm quoting here when she says she would be putting her time, quote, in another big project, end quote. Said she would support one of the other candidates, didn't say who. It's going to have to be either Eddie Thompson, the incumbent, or Sean Williams. Don't know which one, but she says she's going to support one of those. We'll have to wait and see what comes from there. But suddenly we have one less person in the race in Macomb. So there are still, changes that can happen. Now, you reach a certain point where you're still going to be on the ballot, which makes it confusing at that point. So every time, this though is, and this is not a knock against Miss Robinson Coney. You drop out, you got stuff that's come up. Things happen. Ask the current Macomb City Board. Seems like every week, it feels like, we have to have a special call meeting because something came up. Things come up. Totally understandable. But is this just not perfect for a Macomb City Board election with the way things have gone for the last decade in Macomb City government? Qualifying deadline hits on Friday. On Monday, you announce the final list of candidates, and by Wednesday, one's already dropped out. That is on brand, I think is the term I'm looking for the city of Macomb. You know I'm telling you the truth. That is extremely on brand. Again, absolutely no shade being thrown at Dorothy Robinson Coney. No one but her knows the reasons. She's got good reasons, I'm sure. But still, just in general, yeah, that's kind of the way it works. City of Macomb, that's 100% the way it works. Every time you got something simple you're going to knock out, yeah, no. The other news that is breaking this morning: the Mississippi Board of Animal Health confirmed yesterday that the Department of Agriculture, their lab, the National Veterinary Services Laboratory, apparently a flock of broiler chickens on an Emmett County farm has the avian influenza, the bird flu. Now, the CDC says human risk from bird flu is low, which is extremely true. Board of Animal Health people say that it's not a food safety risk because if you cook your chicken, if you're just eating your chicken raw, you still got a problem. You got multiple problems if that's what you're doing. But if you cook your chicken, cook your eggs properly, there's no risk because it kills it right off. And these birds, none of them have entered the system, if you will. They've quarantined the farm. The birds have been destroyed. This is not new. I just want to point that out because you may think, I haven't heard of that before. It's coming here. Oh my goodness, it's getting here. They had a confirmation in Mississippi last spring of avian influenza in the state. So no, it's not new. It's close to home. It's right there in Emmett County. But this is not a new development. This has been, they tried to make this the next COVID. The media did. A year or two ago, that's all you heard was bird flu. We may have to put quarantines into place because of bird flu. Bird flu will kill you. There was this one guy, he licked a chicken, he died. I'm not sure that's exactly what happened, but that's pretty close. And they pushed it, and they pushed it, and they pushed it, except nobody bought it this time. Nobody said, oh my goodness, the chicken flu is going to get us all. Instead, they went, well, I'm going to cook my chicken. I'll take care of that. And it did. So yes, we still have these infections going around. But I just want to point something out. Bird flu in humans is rare. It's very rare. But I would just like to remind you of something. We had, I believe, I have to look it up. Let me look it up real quick. Because I want to give you the correct numbers. If you want to be all scared, that's fine. Everybody needs a hobby, I guess. We had 70 cases in humans in the United States last year in 2025. 70. Over 70 is the term they're using. Here's a fun fact. We had 4 confirmed cases of the bubonic plague in America last year. Where's the alarm over that? That literally wiped out a significant percentage of the population of Earth at one point. Because it's not new, is why. Because new is scary. New is a reason to be upset and worried. So we look for the new thing and we push that. Because the goal, again, is to keep you scared, keep you worked up, keep you mad. So bird flu in the Mid-County, absolutely zero reason for you to be wearing a mask. There has always been zero reason for you to be wearing a mask in the car by yourself. That's always amused me. It always will amuse me. What you worried about? You gonna infect yourself? That speaks more to a hygiene problem, if you ask me. So, no, there is no reason for a freak out just because we have an avian influenza infection confirmed in a mid-county. They quarantined the farm, destroyed the chickens. The chickens weren't out on the open market, and we're done. I'm glad they caught it before it spread around. Good job. But it's not freak out material. A lot of people might try to represent it that way. Hat tip to the Enterprise Journal. They've got an article about it up already. And it's very straightforward to the facts, as they usually are, and lays out everything involved. It's not a problem. At some point today, some Yahoo that they allowed to have a Facebook account is going to go in and go, guys, I don't know. This bird flu thing is horrible. I think I have it. I just laid an egg.
If you cry out for more, if you reached out for me, I would run to the store just to keep you here.
Skippy, that ain't an egg. What is it? Depends. Final break. Yeah, I'm just going to shut up now. Final break. Close it down for this Thursday after this on SuperTalk from Mississippi, Pike County. Keep it here.
Let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands. Let me cross this line and show you where it leads.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Listen to your heart.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown Macomb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
Yep.
Closing time.
Once again,
Turn all of the lights on over.
we're out of time.
Every boy and every girl.
It happens. Every day it happens. About the same time it happens every day. Tomorrow will be different, though. Tomorrow we will have been out of time for an hour by the time we reach this point in the day. Because tomorrow morning, 6:06, back in the chair for mornings here on SuperTalk Mississippi Network. My thanks to Richard Cross for filling in for me last Friday. I got to give Randy credit for that one. That was perfect. He did a great job filling in. We might let the guy stick around. But tomorrow morning, I'm back in the chair, 6:06. It's practically a guarantee somebody will be upset before we're done. Why? Because I don't have time for many hobbies, so I tend to try to enjoy the ones I do have. If you don't believe me, tune in next Wednesday, the day after the city board meeting. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll get a great exhibition of it. Again, reminder, Liberty is going to get real dark this afternoon. 1:30, Magnolia Electric turning the power off on purpose. You paid your bill. No need to freak out and try to go check. They have a mechanical issue at the Liberty substation. If you know, and a lot of people don't, but if you know where specifically you get your power from, if you get it from the Liberty substation, well, it's going to go dark at 1:30. They say about an hour to an hour and a half. I'm giving them 2 hours just to put a little extra wiggle room in there. And say by 3:30, it'll be back on. Probably well before that. But at 1:30, everything will go dark if you're on the Liberty substation for Magnolia Electric Power while they fix their little gizmo. I don't know what the gizmo is. They didn't specify, and none of us would understand if they had. But they got a gizmo that needs to be, fixed and put back in the right, condition. Gizmo shape. Got to get it back in gizmo shape, and they'll be good to go. So make sure you let everybody know that over in the Liberty area if they're on Magnolia Electric. We have a power outage coming this afternoon. Nothing to worry about. And again, no need to go check. Yeah, you paid your bill. I'm making a big assumption by saying that, by the way. So before it goes out, you might want to check that. Have a wonderful day. Tomorrow morning, 6:06 on mornings here on Super Talk Mississippi. My friend, I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.